What do a pirate, a luxury hotel, and a Spanish restaurant all have in common? Well, if you read the title of this video, you might already have an idea. They all claim they invented this, the Piña Colada. The Piña Colada is one of the most iconic tropical drinks in the world. It was invented here in my home island of Puerto Rico and has been the official national drink since 1978. But the story behind it is surprisingly complicated. There are multiple origin stories, some more believable than others, and a whole lot of pride wrapped up in who gets the credit. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I grabbed my camera, hit the streets of Puerto Rico, and set out to try what might be the world's very first Piña Colada, and figure out which of these stories actually holds up. First, I went to visit the one that has a legit looking plaque claiming it's the original, Barrachina, located in the heart of Old San Juan. I gotta say, I keep forgetting how beautiful Old San Juan is. The cobblestone roads, the design of the buildings, makes it feel like I've traveled back in time. Even though it's packed with tourists and most places are overpriced, there's still something really charming about it. Every time you turn a corner, you find a new shop or restaurant. It's like the city never runs out of surprises. Alright, so I actually tried filming this part of the video 3 different times. The first time we got there was no parking anywhere. The second time, we got there a little earlier, still couldn't find a spot, so we kind of gave up and went to eat at Medalla Arena in Distrito de Mobile, which is in another part of San Juan. It was my first time there, and honestly, it's a pretty solid spot. But on the third try, we finally managed to get a parking spot, and that day we filmed all throughout Old San Juan, visited El Morro, and walked along El Paseo de la Princesa, and eventually we made it to Barrachina. Barrachina has been serving food and piña coladas for decades. The piña colada here was invented in 1963 by a bartender named Don Ramon Portas Mingo. While we were there, our bartender Jorge dropped some lore about how their recipe came to be and why they're convinced theirs is the original. Have a listen.
¿Se sabe la historia de la piña colada aquí?
El Papa es católico. Okay. La piña colada nace aquí en julio 10 van a ser 62 años y salió de un concurso. Una compañía de crema de coco que se llama Coco López estaba celebrando su 10º aniversario. Y para la celebración del aniversario ellos decidieron retar a los bartenders de la isla a crear una bebida utilizando su producto. El concurso se celebró aquí, que nuestro bartender de ese tiempo ganó el concurso. Y ellos son los que ponen la placa de mármol que está al frente, que dice en esta casa, en este día, tal persona inventó la piña colada. Porque nosotros tenemos una patente sobre la receta.
Okay.
El primer error que la gente comete con el trago es que le ponen demasiado poco. Y piña colada significa piña que se puede tomar. El segundo error, y la razón por la que están en las máquinas, no es porque yo vendo las que te dije, entre 2.200 y 3.500 al día. Es que simplemente la receta se hizo para tomarse bajo un sol bien caliente. Y no importa que el trago se ponga tibio, el sabor no puede cambiar. La piña colada nunca tiene hielo. Nunca. La patente que te dije, donde quiera que tú vas, tú pides una y ¿qué es lo primero que haces? Agarran un blender y le ponen hielo. Si no, nosotros los podemos demandar.
Okay.
So, that's it.
Okay.
No hay secreto, el secreto es que pues, la gente no la sabe hacer, punto.
Okay.
Eso es simple, tan simple como eso. La gente no sabe hacer piña colada. Todo el mundo piensa en la piña colada, lo primero que piensan es el coco.
Ajá.
Sí.
Y el hielo.
Sí, y eso es lo menos que lleva. Bien poquito coco y nada de hielo. Ya se lo... Ese es todo el secreto.
Okay. Muchas gracias.
After visiting Barrachina, I wanted to learn more about one of the most widely accepted origin stories of the Piña Colada, the one that begins at a hotel just a few miles away, the Caribe Hilton. This is probably the most well-known version of the story. According to the hotel, the bartender Ramon Monchito Marrero created the Piña Colada in 1954 while experimenting with ways to capture the tropical flavors of Puerto Rico in a single drink. But here is where it gets interesting. The original version wasn't even served at the main bar. It started out as a kind of smoothie, blended daily at the hotel's snack bar. I actually didn't have alcohol at first, but over time they started adding Puerto Rican rum, and that totally changed the game. Once their drink had liquor, it moved from the snack bar to the main bar. The Caribe Hilton has leaned into this origin hard. They've kept Monchito's recipe alive for decades, and the version they serve now is as close to the original as it gets, or so they claim.
La clase de persona que Monchito, que era un hombre humilde. Él no te, o sea, no era de los tipos que te gritaba, sino pues todo era con nené, tráeme esto, nené, y te trataba. Él nos trataba bien.
Que a todo el mundo le daba una sonrisa, pero como dice, a boca de piano. Así siempre le estaba. Y yo me quedé perplejo de la sonrisa de Monchito, del carácter que tenía, de la humildad, de su personalidad. Si tú lo miras en las fotos, siempre se estaba sonriendo, siempre. No sé cómo lo hacía, pero yo creo que era que tenía a Dios en su corazón.
Era a tal grado de humildad que yo a veces le decía a los clientes, este señor fue el que creó la piña colada. Y me hacían, ¿verdad? Y le preguntaban y él decía, eso dicen. Y él verdaderamente la creó. Esa es la humildad de Monchito.
Hoy por hoy, bajo la proclama de Sila María Calderón y el gobernador de Puerto Rico, hoy por hoy hemos tenido 2 proclamas aquí en nuestra casa, a honor, a bien, en favor y en memoria de quien vida fue Ramón Monchito Marrero. Monchito creó la piña colada, crema de coco, jugo de piña y un poco de jarra en jarra. La piña colada se vendía como si fuese una batida, porque no tenía alcohol. La piña colada se hizo en un proceso como si fuese un trago refrescante.
Entonces al añadirle alcohol fue que cogió el agua grande.
Los mozos era piña colada, piña colada, piña colada, piña colada. Y todo eso de la piña colada, yo hacía 10 y 20 galones. Y eso se iba como, y a veces antes de irme para casa tenía que hacer más.
Entonces pues la piña colada pegó a evolucionar. Entonces empezaron a echarle ron de Puerto Rico. Y el ron pues le dio otra tonalidad. Se le retiró la crema, se le retiró la vainilla, se le retiró el mantecado. Ya la piña colada no se podía hacer en el snack bar, ahora era en la barra porque tenía licor. Y ha trascendido a tal nivel que el primer trago que yo me encuentro que es con piña colada mezclado es el Miami Vice. Y eso no viene de aquí, eso viene de allá. Quiere decir que la piña colada trascendió a Miami.
De tepe a tepe la barra. Y la mayoría, tú veías todo el público, y casi todo el público lo que tenía era piña colada. Piña colada, si acaso un romponcho, un traguito así a la roca. Pero mayormente era, si tú venías y tirabas un retrato, era piña colada casi todo el mundo.
According to our bartender Jorge back at Barrachina, their version of the Piña Colada was actually created to commemorate the 10th anniversary of Coco Lopez. So I did a bit of digging, and it turns out both recipes relied on Coco Lopez to bring the drink to life, which honestly doesn't help much when it comes to figuring out who actually invented it. But that's what it says on their website. I also could not find a document or anything proving the claim that Barrachina has a patent on the drink. Like, I couldn't find an article or anything like that. Nor could I find anything that has to do with the 10th anniversary of Coco Lopez. So, yeah. They have the plaque at the front, so I guess that makes them legit. I'm not really sure. So far, the two most recognized stories behind the Piña Colada begins in the 1950s and 60s, right here in San Juan. But there's one more version of this story, and it goes back much further. It's not officially documented, but it's one of the most widely shared legends tied to the drink's origins. The legend dates back to the 1800s and centers on a Puerto Rican pirate named Roberto Cofresi, known to most as El Pirata Cofresi. It's said that he would prepare the drink for his crew using white rum, coconut milk, and pineapple juice, the earliest known mix resembling a piña colada. Cofresi was born in 1971 in Cabo Rojo, into a wealthy Creole family. His full name was Roberto
Kupferschein.
Ramirez de Arellano, but locals simply called him Cofresi, since his Austrian last name wasn't easy to pronounce. He began as a corsair defending Spanish interests, but eventually turned to piracy during the independence movements in Latin America. Over time, he became a symbol of rebellion, raiding both Spanish and American ships along the Caribbean. In 1825, after a violent confrontation at sea, Cofresi was captured and executed by firing squad at El Morro, alongside 10 members of his crew. The story says that Cofresi's recipe died with him, and while there's no written proof of the drink's exact ingredients, many believe he may have been the first to combine those signature flavors we now associate with the piña colada. Those are the stories. If you ask me which one I think is the legit birthplace of the piña colada, my headcanon would be Cofresi, because that sounds super cool that these flavors were made by a pirate. That sounds pretty cool. But let me know what you guys think. Where do you think the drink originated from? Which story seemed the most legit to you? And if you like this type of content, please let me know down in the comments below. I really enjoyed making this video, and if you guys would like to see more of these types of videos, also let me know in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Nos vemos, corillo!